You are listening to the Pinax Report.
Pinax Report.
Pinax Report.
The Pinax Report.
Pinax Report.
Pinax Report.
Live only on Pinax TV.
There's an interesting breaking news that we have received coming straight from the office of the White House that states that Donald Trump has confirmed that the long and estranged war between DR Congo and Rwanda has finally been settled with a peace treaty. And so we have a screenshot. We will read it shortly, and then we'll go into the details of the matter. So Larry Madowo tweeted, and then he said, breaking, President Trump confirms that the U.S. is getting a lot of the mineral rights from the Congo as part of the DRC-Rwanda peace deal being signed today. He praises his senior Africa advisor, Masad Boulos, for getting it done. Now, I have Chris with me here in the studio. Let's get into the details of this entire thing and ask that how did it start and how come we have this peace treaty deal signed and it is being announced from the White House?
Yes, so this is the longest running conflict in the whole wide world.
Okay.
It started in 1994, which was a normal conflict between two ethnic groups, the Hutus and the Tutsis of the Rwanda. So within 100 days of the conflict, about 800,000 of the, 800,000 of the Tutsis were killed by the extremists of the Hutus. So it was a conflict between two ethnic groups in, the Rwanda. Okay. So when this happened, some of the Hutus, they fled Rwanda to DRC, Congo, because there was a rebel team from the Tutsis side that they invaded Kigali and they took power. And one of the leaders of that rebel team from the Tutsis was the current president, Paul Kagame of Rwanda. He was part of the leaders of that rebel team who seized power. And when they went to that eastern part of Congo, they settled there as let's say a refugee camp. Okay. But most of them were the Hutus who were part of the killing of the 800,000 of the Tutsis. So now the whole of Kigali saw them as a threat that they can come back and come and cause havoc in Rwanda. So now they had to start waging war against them. So they went there to fight them. They captured the then Congolese president and they installed their own government at a point. But that didn't really go well with the people of Congo. Okay. So at a point, they had to reignite the war again. And with that part or that side of the war, they decided to go for the very first peace treaty. So this is not the first time that they are trying to sign a peace pact. Okay. So the first one, they decided to do elections. And now all the rebel teams that is on that part of Congo, they want to bring them into the Congolese army. So this has continued over 30 years now. But currently we have the M23, which is also a rebel group who is fighting against the FDLR, who are also in Congo. Okay. Now, Congo sees these two people as, as rebels. Do you understand? Right. It is alleged that Rwanda is backing the M23. And now what they are doing in the eastern part of Congo is that they are illegally mining the natural resources in Congo currently to support all that they are doing over there. So now someone has to come in and let peace reign in that region. And that was what we currently witnessed over the weekend or over the week with President Trump standing in for them. The foreign ministers from both countries, they came together and now they've signed a peace pact. Okay. The most exciting part for the United States is that it's a deal that gives U.S. rights to bring in their companies to start mining the natural resources in Congo.
Okay, so Chris, just on that same point, people, when this news came about, it has generated a lot of discussions all across the globe. And people would want to know, yes, there's an interest in it for the U.S. That is why, in the first place, they have come to ensure that there's a peace agreement. Now, is this only going to benefit the U.S. as a body, as a nation, and is it going to go against the two other African nations?
Well, so the comments that people are passing in is that this is just another way to... This wouldn't enrich the other countries. I mean, the African countries. We know Rwanda is doing well. Because the M23, they were able to mine a lot of natural minerals from that side of Congo to enrich Rwanda. That is another side of it. And with this treaty, Donald Trump's U.S. side, let's say, stands to get a lot of natural resources from Congo. Now, another interesting part of it is that now we have Chinese in Congo now that they are also mining.
Interesting.
Yes, no, they are mining cobalt, copper, gold, and coltan.
Are they doing this legally, or they are just there with their machines?
Yes. So now the U.S. has to also find a way to seize that site or that portion of Congo from the Chinese.
Okay.
And other rebel groups. Now we have so many rebel groups there that they are illegally mining in there. Do you understand? So this is a chance for the U.S. to also seize the Chinese from, taking all those natural resources from that place. So it's a good thing to hear that a long-lasting conflict between Rwanda and Congo. So you see, it all happened because they felt like the Tutsis, who are on the side of the Rwanda, of Rwanda, they are being discriminated in that part of Congo.
Okay.
Do you understand? Because they went there to settle there. They are being discriminated by the Hutus who are living there. So this has been a very long conflict that has... And
you said it's lasted for over 30 years?
30 years. It started in 1994 up to 2025 that we are hearing this good news. Yes, good news that now people are saying all the killings and people dying because of the M23 trying to win territories in the eastern parts of Congo, all these things will come to a halt.
Right. Okay, so we have a very interesting video, right, from the office of the White House. We will look at that video and then we'll come back and get into the details of this matter.
The actual agreements that were signed respectively by the foreign ministers of the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda earlier today, witnessed by Secretary Rubio. We've also prepared for you two letters. This is to President Paul Kagame of Rwanda, expressing your appreciation and congratulations for everything that's happened already, and of course inviting him to Washington for, as Dr. Bula said, what we hope will be the Washington Accords, finally setting the terms for peace and prosperity in this region, hopefully for a very long time.
That's great. That's beautiful. Very important. We're going to put a picture in there, right? As soon as this is over, they're going to put, we have a fast-moving photographer, Dan. He's going to put a nice picture of us here. Okay. Thank you. That's for you.
And this is a letter to President Tshisekedi of the Democratic Republic of Congo, again congratulating him on settling this long-running war and inviting him to Washington, D.C. for the final conclusion of the agreement, hopefully soon.
That's great. That's right. Take that pen.
Thank you very much.
So I'd like to ask JD to say a few words, our great Vice President, and then Marco, and go ahead.
Great. Well, first, let me welcome the foreign ministers of Rwanda and Congo. It's great to have you in the Oval Office. And second, let me say congratulations to the President, to Secretary Rubio, the entire team. I think for the people of these two countries, they should know that the United States is committed to the pathway of peace. But to my fellow Americans, this is really a celebratory moment. This is a big moment for our country because under the President's leadership, we've taken what was 30 years of killing and war, the worst war in terms of death count since World War II, and now we're on a pathway to peace. And so if I think about what I know about these two countries, for 30 years, pretty much the entire time that I can remember these two countries being in the news, much of the story has been about them fighting one another, about them killing one another, and now we can look forward to a future where my children will look at this moment as the beginning of a new story, a story of prosperity and of peace. So thanks to the President, congratulations to the entire team, and to my fellow Americans, we should all be really proud because it's amazing what active presidential leadership can accomplish when it's geared towards peace and prosperity, and that's what we have in the Oval Office right now. So great job, sir.
Yes, so we have just witnessed history being made, and that was Donald Trump signing the peace agreement that, yes, indeed, now DR Congo and Rwanda are now at peace with each other. And then when this video came out, people are asking a lot of questions, as I mentioned early on. It's gone viral and it's actually ignited a lot of international discussion. And people would want to know that is Africa not capable of managing her own affairs? That is one of the questions that keeps popping up. Chris, please help us to delve into this particular question. People want to know that is Africa not capable of solving her own issues that we had to wait all this while for US to come in to settle this?
Yes, so as I said earlier, this is not the first time they've tried to have a peace pact. They've tried to settle the issue or the conflicts that is going on between Rwanda and then DRC. They tried that somewhere in 1996 thereabout. They tried to have a peace pact that will unite the two countries.
Okay.
And you see, DRC was there when the Hutus migrated after the genocide. They moved from Rwanda to that part of Congo. So at a point, they tried to, unite the two countries and bring them together, but it failed.
Okay.
Do you understand? So if they were not able to unite themselves, then it will take someone else to
external force.
Yes,
okay.
to come in or stand in and do that for them. Yeah.
Right, interesting. So we have another video that gives us insight. And when Donald Trump was giving a very brief address after he had signed these peace agreements, let's go and watch that video too. But do leave your comment in the comment box for us. Do like and let us know what you think concerning this new development happening in Rwanda and DR Congo.
In the Oval Office, we're going to have a signing with Rwanda and the Congo. So I'm a little out of my league in that one because I didn't know too much about it. I knew one thing. They were going at it for many years and with machetes. It is one of the worst wars that anyone's ever seen. And I just happened to have somebody that was able to get it settled. I mean, just a brilliant person who is very comfortable in that part of the world. It's a very dangerous part of the world. I said, are you uncomfortable there? People are being killed. School children are being raided and killed. And I don't even want to say how, but as viciously as I've ever heard. Are you uncomfortable? No, that's the part of the world that I know. Very comfortable. Was able to get them together and sell it. And not only that, we're getting for the United States a lot of the mineral rights from the Congo as part of it. They're so honored to be here. They never thought they'd be coming to. Look, this is a very tough part of the world. They never thought, they were just telling me, they never thought they'd ever be coming to the White House, and they're so honored. And so we're going to give them a great big reception, but that's after many years of fighting. It's a great thing. That's at 3 o'clock, I believe.